Hello, I'm State Representative Kirk Pearson. Thank you for joining me for my legislative update. Today, as I speak to you from Olympia, we are in the second half of the legislative session. One of the bills I'm working on this session is House Bill 1281. It's an important bill that would give victims more say in how and when their attacker is released from prison. I believe our correction systems need to consider the victims and potential victims' feelings and needs before we take into consideration the offenders. Giving the victims the opportunity to address the sentencing board before the offender is released into our communities will help the board decide if release or even pardon of the victim's attacker is in the best interest of public safety. This bill is an important step to give victims of crime some peace of mind. I continue to be concerned about bills moving in the legislature that will cut supervision for dangerous offenders released into our communities to save money. But as leader on public safety issues, I promise that I will not balance the budget on the backs of victims or potential victims. Our citizens expect us to look out for their safety as if it was our own, and that is what I will do. If budget writers are truly prioritizing spending, public safety and care of our most vulnerable would be at near the top of the funding list. The fact is, every day we read stories in the paper about sex offenders left unsupervised preying on children, or we hear about repeat DUI offenders hurting or killing innocent bystanders because the system fails to make sure they're following the rules of their release. To my mind, it's about priorities. What we do value, safety, and security in our homes and neighborhoods is at the heart of how we live our lives. Laying off our community correction officers and lowering supervision standards for offenders is not in the best interest of our families. I will work to make sure we put in place more protections and fund our public safety system in a way that puts families before felons. Last, I want to thank all of you who have called and written me about my bill to cap credit card interest rates. As job losses grow and as family finances tighten, I believe Washington State can and should give our middle-class families a break. That's why I introduced House Bill 2195. The bill would restrict credit card interest rates in our state to 12% or 4% above the Treasury bill rate, whichever is higher. Many folks don't know that in Washington, we've had a usury rate law restricting interest rates to 12% since statehood. Our laws already allow for this, but it's not currently being used because the federal government has said we cannot create our own restrictions on interest rates. Since my last update, the federal government is looking more closely at allowing states to enforce usury rates, like the one we have in Washington. This would be a big help to families in our state who are facing tough budget decisions. Giving people a little break on credit card interest rates may help them stay afloat until the economy turns around. I firmly believe Washington has a right to exercise state sovereignty on this issue, and I'm hopeful we'll get help from Congress on this issue. The federal government has bailed out banks and Wall Street bigwigs, but hard-working, middle-class folks haven't got any relief. It's only fair to help people, too. My proposal is about spreading help fairly and is a positive step in the current economy to help the middle class. Addressing this issue is more critical than ever, and it's the right thing to do in these extraordinary times. States and the federal government must find meaningful ways like this to help middle-class families with some relief that will help curb rising debt and will help their overall financial situations. I believe House Bill 2195 is one way we could help the citizens of Washington right now. So if you have a story you want to share about credit card interest rates, please send them my way. It will help me make a good case that we need some control over how much and when credit card interest rates can be increased. It's an honor to serve you as your local representative, and if I can be of service, please let me know. And I do appreciate your calls, letters, and emails. If you plan on coming to Olympia, please give my office a call so I can make arrangements to meet with you. I look forward to telling you what I'm working on in the next update. For now, thanks again for allowing me to serve you.